Anthony Lamacchia makes me laugh so hard. Every time I'm like in stitches laughing at him, but he brings so much amazing knowledge. I'm so excited to have him. So Anthony Lamacchia, take it away.
Good morning, my friend. Great to see you. Great to see everyone here. What I want to talk to you all about, I was thinking about yesterday, I was flying home from Inman. I was out at their conference all week. I was thinking on the plane, I said, what am I going to talk about exactly? And what I want to talk to you all about for the next about 30 minutes is something that we're starting to bring up a lot with our realtors and our training customers. And I know Ganzel Realty is one of them, but we're talking a lot about how you're going to get prepared for this winter. Because I am going to tell you all right now, point blank. Okay, you ready? Do you remember how aggravating this past winter was and how low inventory was and how long it took sellers to list? You remember all that? Okay, we're going to go through the same thing, but I don't think it's going to be quite as bad. And there's two reasons I don't think it's going to be quite as bad. One, we're seeing inventory go up in all the markets that we operate in, both up here in New England and down in Florida. The other reason is realtors are just starting to do a better job talking to their clients and talking to their potential clients about how they can list their home, help them find a new home, and not have them end up homeless. And that is one of the biggest reasons. I'm going to tell you all right now, we realtors are to blame. Big reason, we're a big part of the blame for why inventory went as low as it did, especially last winter and into the spring. Up here in the Northeast, inventory usually takes off like a jet for right around the beginning of March, right? This year, it didn't really start taking off till end of April. Why? Because we're in a gridlocked market. Think about it. You got people that are, well, I want to list, but where am I going to go? They're looking all around. I don't see a house. And then when they do see something they like, they end up saying, well, that's sold in a day. That's sold in an hour. Where am I going to go? So sellers sit in their hands because they're nervous. And the reason is realtors are not doing a good enough job explaining to people what they can be doing to protect themselves and not end up in a situation where they don't know where they're going to go. Because when people are nervous, people sit in their hands. So let's take it right from the call. When you get a phone call from a seller or a potential seller, and they're telling you, hey, I want to sell, right? I'd like to sell. I'd like to buy something new. You talk through the process. You go through your normal questions. You talk up how fast you sell homes, how you just sold one up the street. You sold it in 3 hours. You sold another one in 4 minutes. You sold another one 600 million over asking, right? All those things that realtors say, right? You guys know what I'm going to say? You're hurting yourself. By saying those things, you're scaring that seller away. Guys, this is not 10 years ago when it was cool to say how fast you sold a home. Remember 10 years ago, Chantel, I started running ads. I don't think I knew Chantel then, but I used to run ads that said, sold in 20 days, sold in 29 days. I'd show all the listings. Sold in 7 days. Now, if you put an ad out that says sold in 29 days, the seller says, what were you doing for the other 28? Right? Because
I remember that.
I was the king of it. And then I had the program sold in 70 days. If we don't sell your home in 70 days, we'll buy it. Guys, it's no longer cool. You're not special. You're not amazing if you sell a home fast. I hate to break your heart. You're not. So for those of you that have been in the business less than 3 years and you think, oh my God, I'm the greatest, everything I touch turns to sold. No, I got news for you. It's not you, it's the market, right? I mean, really, let's be serious. You can put up halfway decent pictures, price within 10% of what the property is worth, and it sells right away. That doesn't make you amazing. But one of the questions we've been getting from our realtors that are under 3 years in the business and from our training customers across the country this summer, it started in August. I remember one training I had in Denver and one in San Diego, both virtually. And they're like, Anthony, I've got a home that isn't selling. I said, oh, great. How long has it been on? 9 days. And I'm like, wow, what an atrocity. What do I do? And I'm like, oh my God, these people don't know what a real market is, because this market we've been in for the last 2 years is fake, right? It's literally fake. It's fairy tale land, right? So back to what I was explaining. The way that you talk to these potential clients, especially in the beginning, is what matters. I want you all to jump in the time capsule and go back and remember. Did you have some sellers tell you last fall, listen, we're going to sell next year, we're going to sell next spring, we're excited to, blah, blah, blah. Then February comes or January comes, you call them to check in and they say, or they said, I'm not ready. Then you get to March, I'm not ready. April, I'm not ready. And then all of a sudden you see their house is listed and you want to scream. You're pissed off. You're thinking, why is it listed? They said they were going to go with me. I have news for you. It's your fault. It's the way you're talking to them. You have got to make sure that on that first initial lead call, when someone tells you they want to buy and sell, number one, stop bragging, okay, about, you guys are distracting me with the comments. I keep looking down. Stop bragging about how fast you're selling all the homes in the neighborhood. No one cares. The seller isn't looking to hear that. What the seller is looking to hear is you're going to be able to guide them through selling their home in the right time frame and also helping them find another home. And you're going to say things to them like, well, how are you going about looking for homes now? You know what they're going to say. They're looking on Zillow. Oh, well, great. Well, Zillow's a good place to dabble and, look around. But if you really want to get access to properties before they're even listed, you need to be working with myself and my company. We have a list of properties that, before they're even listed, we call it our pre-list service, and we go on in our company. We have this whole sophisticated thing, but I know maybe not everybody has that. But you should be telling them that you are going to work to get them access to properties before they're listed, right? Because you've got to give them more comfort on the buy side. See, what agents are missing is seller calls when they're also buying another home. Those are also buyer calls. So the scripts that we teach and preach on buyer calls, talking to people about how you have access to estate sales, short sales, foreclosures, properties that haven't been listed yet, properties with recent price adjustments. Those are things you need to be saying when you're on a seller call as well, as long as they're buying. I keep qualifying it with that. But if they're buying and selling at the same time, you have to understand the only thing that's stopping them from taking action is feeling comfortable that you're not going to literally sell their home right from underneath them. They literally think, you got to remember, guys and girls, many people think that when they call a realtor, that I'm not ready. I'm not ready. They're full of crap. They are ready. Okay. When they tell you they're not ready before Christmas, they're telling the truth. When they tell you we're not ready this year because our son needs to graduate from high school, they're telling the truth. But when they say I'm going to be ready next year, and then next year comes and they still tell you they're not ready, they're scared. And there's literally millions of scared sellers all across America right now. And what they're scared of is calling Margie, calling Amy, calling Roxana, and saying, hi, I want to sell my home. And one of them literally pulling the house right out from underneath them. That's what they're worried about. And you have to go into that call understanding that that's their concern. It's like a doctor going into an appointment to talk to a patient. You should know, what are they worried about? I need to make them feel better. I need to explain this. I need to explain that, right? So preemptively and proactively talk about those things when you're on those calls with a seller. Hey, listen, I know you might be a little bit nervous, right? You might be a little bit nervous about buying another home and timing it all correctly. Well, I want you to know we help people through this all the time. Last year, I helped 45 sellers also buy homes, okay? Sell by clients. I worked on both sides. And the way that we do it is you get on board with me now. Oh, we're not ready. We're not ready. Hang on. Hear me out. You start working with me now. We're not going to list your home. We're going to put you on our pre-list. If I was able to get a buyer that's interested in your property that would pay you your price and close on your terms, would you want to hear about that? Would you be interested in hearing about that? Notice what I said. I didn't say, would you want to sell the home? I said, if I can get a buyer for your home before we even bother listing next year, that would pay you your price and close on your terms, would you be interested in hearing about that? You're going to get a yes if you ask that question correctly. Okay, great. Now let me ask you another question. If I was able to find you a home that you're looking for that matches your criteria, and I was able to show it to you, and you wouldn't have to compete with 25 other buyers because maybe I could get you access before it's ever listed, would you be interested in hearing about that home? If you see what I'm doing here? I'm not asking them committal questions. I'm not saying, hey, Amy, would you buy the home? Margie, would you sell your home if I get you the right buyer? No, I'm saying, would you be interested in hearing about that buyer that's interested in your home? If I found you the home that fit your criteria, would you be interested in hearing about it? Okay, great. So what we will do is we're going to protect you. If we do go on the open market, we're going to protect you by putting disclosures on MLS to say that we'll list your home, your home's listed, but it's subject to you finding another home. And we will also put a contingency in the contract to say that you're not going to end up homeless. Guys, these conversations need to be had on the first lead call. I'm telling you, because they're thinking it. They might not be telling you. What they're going to tell you most of the time is, I'm not ready. We're not ready. They're liars. Buyers are liars and sellers are worse. I know this is being recorded. I'm telling you the truth. And I have news for every one of you. Every single one of us is the same way. You know why? Because we're consumers. Consumers lie. It is socially acceptable to lie to salespeople. It's literally socially acceptable all around the world. How many times have you had a contractor come out to your house and bid something, right? And then now it's getting a contractor is like pulling teeth, but that's beside the point. They come out, they call you back 3 weeks later. Hey, just checking back to see if you want to do that tile work. And you're like this. Oh, we're still thinking about it. And you're saying that as you see the tile guy putting the tiles on the wall in your bathroom. Consumers lie all the time. And they lie to you every single day. They don't wake up in the morning and say, I want to lie to Chantel today. That's not how they work. None of us consumers work that way. But once they get into what they think is a sales environment and they're talking to you, they're going to say things that push you away like, I'm not ready. And if every realtor in America knew how to talk to sellers the way that I do, the way our VP of sales does, the way that our President's Club level agent does, I got news for you. We wouldn't have this inventory problem nearly to the extent we do. But it's the realtors that don't know how to talk to people and give them the comfort. And I'm not here to criticize you all, but I am here to be blunt and to help you learn something in this session, because I want you to not only list a lot of homes in 2022, I want you to list more homes than you ever did, but I want you to be able to list them sooner. There is no reason. Now, I know you guys, a lot of people in this crowd are in Virginia. You're affected by seasonality, not quite to the extent that we are in Boston, right? But you're affected by it. We need to get these homes listing sooner. It's better for the market. It's better for buyers. It's better for sellers. And it's better for all of us realtors. So that's the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about at the beginning, is just giving people a comfort level, telling them, listen, I've gone through this with many sellers. I went through it with many people last year, okay? We're going to walk you right through this. We're going to time it. We're going to get the dates to line up. We're going to protect you contractually to make sure that your home doesn't get pulled out right from underneath, okay? Those are the kinds of things you're saying to sell buys. Now, buyers, let's go over a couple of fundamentals, a couple of basics. These are some of the things that I think make Chantel laugh when I talk about it, right? When you are on the phone with a buyer call, it is very easy, especially when you're a busy realtor, to get selfish, to quickly want to ask, oh, you're pre-approved? Okay, do you have a realtor? All right, great. How much money you got in the bank? Right, I know I'm taking it a little bit further, right? But think about that. Us realtors, we get sucked into that. And in 2012, I made a pivot. I made a huge change to our business. And I hired a consultant. I traveled around the country and identified the best ways to convert buyers, because we were doing crap for buyer business. We were doing so much seller business, okay? And one of the first things we stopped doing was asking people if they had a realtor. And within 7 days, I literally watched our numbers. At that time, we only had 8 agents. Now we have 450. But I watched our conversion go like this immediately, because we stopped asking people if they have a realtor. And then we stopped asking people if they're pre-approved. And one of the things that I had to go through was a mental mindset shift. But this consultant said to me one time, it's none of your business if they're pre-approved. And of course, what do you mean? Oh, we got to know they're going to buy a home. Said, oh. People don't like to give up that information. And now when I train on it, I often ask people questions. So I keep picking the same names. I'm going to switch the screen so I can see different people. But if I went through and I said, hey, Marianne, what do you have in the bank? Melissa, what's your credit? Mary, I'm curious, how much money did you make last month? Deborah, how much money do you have in the bank right now? Can you tell me? Jennifer, how much money are you going to make this month? Right now, they're all thinking, who is this wacko guy, right? Why is he asking me those questions? That is the same exact feeling that you're giving to buyers when you ask them these questions, because it's none of your business. When you're on the phone with someone 30 seconds and you're literally asking them, are you pre-approved? They're thinking, what business is that of yours? When they click contact agent on their phone, they're not clicking get interrogated. Oh, I want to get interrogated today. Let me reach out to this realtor. Hi. Oh, my credit. Yeah, my credit's 750. Oh, I'm totally pre-approved. Listen, I don't have a realtor. I actually would like to make an offer this afternoon. I have the cash. I'd like to close next week. Folks, those buyers don't exist. People are always going to say certain things in the first part of the call to push you off a little bit. And you have to understand that you got to stop believing all those little things that they say, because you know what they want. If they're a buyer, They want a large selection. That's what they want. They want access. They want a large selection of properties, particularly in this era right now when there is literally very little inventory because it's getting scoffed up very quickly. They want a big selection. They want a good deal. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants a good deal. So talk to them about that. Listen, are you interested in that home or other homes as well? Well, the reason I ask is at our office, we have a buyer advantage program where we can take the criteria or property you're looking for, plug it into our system, and automatically send you those properties on a daily basis. And I don't know, I'm getting properties now. Okay, let me ask you, do those properties include estate sales, short sales, foreclosures, properties with recent price adjustments? What about homes that haven't even been listed yet? Wouldn't you love access to those so you don't have to compete with 40 people? Now they're thinking, oh, you have that? Yes, we do. We have access to homes before they're even listed. Now you're getting them interested because you're speaking their language. You're talking about what they want to talk about and not things they don't want to talk about, like answer your silly questions about being pre-approved or having a realtor. Everybody following me?
This episode is brought to you by Canzel Realty. Learn how you can sell more real estate and keep more of your commission at joincanzel.com.
I save thousands of dollars per year with Canzel.
They have ownership stock, so I have an investment for my future.
I only pay $14,000 in a cap, and I can earn up to $14,000 of that back in ownership stock. So really, I paid nothing.
There's a ton of technology that makes doing real estate super simple.
I love how I get access to KV Core.
They've got tons of revenue streams, leadership, training.
And there's revenue share. If I invite someone or you invite someone to join, the company will give us each a piece of their revenue. If you hire 26 agents and they just hire one agent,
I can make over $19,000 a month.
That's over $236,000 per year.
This gives me the huge opportunity to be able to retire from selling real estate and be able to create the future that I want.
If you're looking for an opportunity to keep more of your commission and have leadership in your area and the technology to sell more homes, I would definitely give Canzel Realty a try.
And by joining, you'll be getting in on the ground floor of a revolutionary real estate brokerage.
So what are you waiting for? It doesn't hurt to learn more and start earning passive monthly income.
Click the link below so you can see what Canzel has to offer you.